Welcome to The View from Here, ladies and gentlemen. We've been waiting for our guest today, Jim Beach, but I called his publicist to see what's going on. He may be busy. He may be tied up. I don't know. He was going to talk to us about nuclear energy and also about what happened in the Middle East. I mean, now with Trump signing the nuclear power pact with the UK. But we're going to start our podcast anyway. What were we just talking about?
Nothing.
I was going to tell you something, and I said, let's start the podcast before I get into it. And now I forgot what it was.
Didn't you have a whole list of things you wanted to talk about?
I don't have a list. Oh, wait, I do have a list. Hold on. Yeah, I got a list here. I forgot that I had the list because I've been making the list for over a week.
He always has a list, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, Columbus Day is back officially.
Well, it's gone now.
Obama did away with Columbus Day and made it Indigenous Peoples Day. Well, you can have both, okay? But Columbus Day is back, and again, people who don't like them,
well, the thing is that there would be no specific October 12th celebration unless Christopher Columbus, for the European people, discovered a section of the world which they were unaware of. So that's called a discovery. And guess what? There were people on the location where there was a discovery. Now, those people that were discovered didn't discover shit. The guys who didn't know they were there, those are the discoverers. So the guys who sat on their ass at the beach and watched the boats come in, they don't get a freaking day, Discovery Day, Indigenous bullshit day. No. I mean, you want to have that? Have that, but don't take it away from Chris. Chris did a good job.
Did you see what that idiot, that drunken sot, Kamala Harris said yesterday? That Columbus Day was when the white man came over here and stole land and spread disease and created havoc and all that, as if the Indians who were here before were at peace. The truth of the matter is they were always warring with each other. They were enslaving each other when they conquered each other. And they were not, the peaceful, serene, tribal thing. I know I'm hitting a nerve with you because you are an adopted Cherokee.
No, it's just that's the 15th century. So guess what? People did shit. And you know what? The person with the biggest baseball bat got to keep the land, and that's just
always.
Right. So the thing is,
throughout history.
So the indigenous people of Native America and South America, they basically killed each other. I mean, the Mayans did a fine job of it. The Toltecs did a fine job of it. So the point is, it was not heaven on earth, and all of a sudden the white man shows up. So they're looking for a path to India, and they didn't know there was going to be this big clump of land in the middle. So they stopped there and said, this'll do.
No, that's why he called them Indians. He thought he was an Indian. But here's the thing. Like you said, the guy with the biggest stick or the best weapons conquers. And that's been it, not just in the Americas, not just in Africa, not just in Europe, not just in Asia, all over the world.
The Muslim horde did it. Genghis Khan did it.
The Muslim horde is still trying to do it, although trying without weapons these days in the West.
So the thing is that, and what about the Zulu? Weren't they conquerors?
Yeah, they were big time conquerors in Africa.
And what about the Egyptians? I think they qualify as Africans.
The Egyptians, yes, the Egyptians.
They were pretty good at it. The Babylonians,
were good at conquering.
They were not so great.
Babylonians, Mesopotamia, the Assyrians before them, and before them there was another one. They were really mean.
The reason why white people were good at kicking ass was because kicking ass was in style, and if you weren't any good at it, we were
getting our asses kicked at first, and we learned how to kick back.
Well, yeah. Well, the The Roman Empire did a pretty good job.
Oh, this is already old news by now, but the Palisades fire arsonist is a lefty climate change nut. Okay? He started the fire because he said he started the fire because he wanted to burn all those houses down and bring in black people. He's white, by the way. He's not black. He's a white lefty.
Well,
so he's going for what do they call multiculturalism. I heard an interesting thing yesterday though. We are not a multicultural country. Never have been. We are a multi-ethnic country. That's a big difference. We have one culture. Our culture is our culture. It's Western culture. Okay? We don't bring in other cultures to mix everything up. No, you come from another country. You want to keep your culture, fine. You teach your kids about your culture. Keep it at home, within your neighborhood, within your the circle of people from the same country. That's fine, but don't try and push it on the United States. We have our own culture here, which most people assimilated to over the history of our country.
The United States is multicultural, but not in the normal definition of the word. I think each region of this country, like the South versus the North versus the Midwest,
different cultures there. Okay,
those are different American cultures. They're also different American dialects.
They are American cultures, not foreign cultures.
I understand, but
not Islamic bullshit.
But that still makes it multicultural.
No, it's one culture that has several different branches.
Who are you to decide what a culture is?
No, it's 50 states, so each state has their own culture too. Remember that.
If you
what is the state sandwich of New Jersey? Taylor ham and egg or pork roll and egg and cheese. Some people call it Taylor ham, some call it pork roll. However, Mickey Sherrill, who was born in Virginia, is running for governor of New Jersey, called that the New Jersey sandwich disgusting. How the hell can you vote for that bitch to run our state?
The New Jersey sandwich is not the Taylor ham sandwich. What it is, or the pork roll sandwich, it is crow. Because every time these politicians take over, all of the conservatives have to eat crow.
Every time who takes over?
The lefties.
Okay, well, the Nobel Prize, the Nobel Committee seems to have snubbed Trump again. However, some people are saying, look, it had to be in by January 1st, and it wasn't, so it's okay. He is in the running for it for next year, though.
What he's upset about is not that what I understand, and I didn't have this conversation with Trump, although if he'd like to call me, he's welcome. But nonetheless, what I understand, what upsets him about that particular Nobel Prize is that he should have gotten it earlier when he was in his first. So,
of course,
there's a certain amount of disdain for it. But the thing is, the woman who got it, who won it, dedicated to him, and that is a beautiful thing. Plus,
that's honesty. Look, Obama got the Nobel Prize before he did anything at all, and then he went and started wars and killed hundreds of thousands of people.
I believe so far in this present administration, Trump has stopped 9 wars throughout the globe.
It looks like it's 6 for sure. He is claiming 8, but it looks like everybody's agreeing that at least 6. So I don't know. We should go through this list. Yeah, it's still pretty good. No other president has stopped that many wars.
Peace Prize.
So Carter stopped the war between Egypt and Israel back in 1980, but then the Muslim Brotherhood assassinated Sadat and took over for a while till the military said, "No, you're fucking the country up. You're out." You know.
Let's not forget that Trump also received the highest award possible for a civilian in Egypt from the Egyptian state. So that's an Arab nation. Is Egypt considered Arab, or is it Persian?
No, it's
No, it's not Persian.
I don't know if it's Arab or I don't know if they're Arabic. No, they might be Arabic. Yeah, they might be Arabic.
Desert.
No, Egypt is its own thing. Egypt is its own thing because you had Egypt, and they ruled over the Jews and the Arabs. Okay, there may be a huge Arab population in Egypt. I don't even know. That might be something we could look up if you're interested.
Yeah, they didn't they control like
they are Muslim. They are Muslim. But they also have Christians there and they have Jews there.
Okay.
Anyway, one thing that that annoys me, all these stupid asses that out in the Midwest and in the Southwest, they run around with a Mexican flag and say that this is stolen land. Well, Mexico only owned New Mexico, California, and Arizona,
40
and
years.
Texas. 27 years.
Oh, it's 27. Okay.
27 fucking years, tops. And then the United States took it. And you know what? Stole that land from Spain.
Well, here's the thing.
Well, Spain had that for well over 100 years. And
here's a different reality right here.
For several hundred years.
Mankind does not own the land. He lives on it. So whoever resided on it, who's ever most recently resided on it, you might say they're the ones in use.
They have dibs. They have dibs.
So, it's just like,
okay. Well, the Spaniards had dibs for over 200 years.
Dibs.
Then the Mexicans came in, became independent, and stole that land from
sixth grade.
Spain.
Dibs. Holy shit, dibs! I haven't heard that since grammar school. We got dibs.
Anyway, so the Mexicans stole it from Spain. They became independent. Well, Spain can't defend it because they're all the way across the continent and across the ocean. It's going to cost them a lot to come and get this. We got this.
Spain acquired it.
Said, no, this is ours.
Spain acquired it because they said they had it. Okay?
They got there.
Probably the Pope gave it to them or something.
They had muskets. The locals didn't.
Well, the locals did have muskets once they were given to the locals to shoot the other locals. But anyway, Spain.
Well, some locals are better than other locals.
Yeah. Spain grabbed it. Mexico, which really is another Latin country,
It's another country that was created because the Spaniards couldn't keep their dicks in their pants. And they impregnated all the Indians that they could. And then created all those races down in South and Central America. Simple as that. And the Portuguese did the same thing in Brazil.
It's what
they created the Brazilians. Arguably one of the. I better not do this. I'll get in trouble if I say what I want to say.
Say it.
No, I'll get Brazilians coming over to try and use me as a jiu-jitsu dummy. Forget it.
They don't all know Gracie.
Well, there's a Gracie studio not far from here.
Yeah, well, okay. Okay, fine.
Somebody, by the way, mentioned that there was a study that recently at some university that said being overweight and out of shape allows you to be easily controlled. Because if you're out of shape, if you're heavy, you're lethargic, you're apathetic, you don't give a damn. And it's easier to control you that way. That's why they feed you the poisons they feed us with all these very fattening ingredients rather than nutritious.
Also, gluttony in and of itself is a weakness. And it's just, what are you doing? Out of all the pleasures of the world, that's the best you can come up with, is just stuffing your face with sweets? Yeah. It's just a very low form of drug use. It's like, of course it weakens you because that's what you're living for. You're living for food. Whereas, the old statement is, I don't live to eat, I eat to live. That's the way you go about it. But yeah, and basically pleasure in and of itself, if that's all you're pursuing is pleasure, then you're going to be like one of those wind vanes where whichever way the wind blows, that's where you're pointing. But our future guest talks about the obsession of the left and how easily they're managed because they're in a constant state of fear. And they've been groomed.
Climate bullshit, yeah. Oh, by the way, while we're on the subject of nutrition stuff, seedless grapes. I used to love them when they came around, because it was convenient. But I found out I like the seeds now, and the seeds have you have grapeseed extract, which helps recycle vitamin C and E in your body. And rather than buy it in pill form at the vitamin shop or G, what the hell is it?
Chia?
No, GNC. You get it from the real grapes. Now, this past weekend, I couldn't find at the local ShopRite or Acme, I could not find seeded grapes. So I went to Brooklyn for Valentina's birthday last weekend, and then we went shopping, and we found one store that had seeded grapes. Most of their grapes were seedless, but they did have one type of grape that was seeded, and I bought them. Now, normally when I buy the seedless grapes, I get home and you see a lot of them fall off the vine, right? And they're kind of small and this and that. These grapes, I could show you what it looks like. Actually,
you don't have to.
All right. Well, they're this big. The vine is strong. None of these have fallen into the bag. None. Actually, I should have gotten some to eat during the podcast. Anyway,
yeah, that's a great idea.
But what was I saying? Oh, so these things, they don't fall off the thing, and it's hard to pluck them off the vine too. And they are tasty, and I'm crunching the seeds to break them open so they can be digested. I just love them, and I've forgotten how much better seeded grapes are than seedless grapes. Same thing with watermelon. Some guy said, "What are you talking about? How do you eat a watermelon that doesn't have seeds?" Remember when we were kids? You eat the watermelon, you're spitting seeds out every other bite.
We had seedless watermelon back then too. The small what they call Spanish watermelons, the little round ones.
Okay.
They had seeds, but they were almost invisible.
Oh, those were edible seeds, basically.
I guess so, but
Yeah.
they were like.
But they had seeds. That's the important part of the reason they take seeds out. They don't want you planting anything, so that when they decide you're not going to eat, you're not going to eat. But if you have your own garden, you have seeds. This is why during COVID, remember those idiots said you can't go to Home Depot and buy seeds. They were told not to sell seeds because they didn't want people planting gardens, because people had all the time in the world. Go out in the yard, plant your garden, and you have your food. You don't have to go to the supermarket. So you're distancing yourself from people that way, which they wanted to, but you would have your own produce. There
was this problem in India where they were planting seeds into the ground and growing the plants, and they would take some of the plants and they would save the seeds and replant them, and the genetic material in there has been what is that? Not copyrighted, but patented. So supposedly you don't have the right to use them, even though you just bought. It's just bullshit as far as
this is which product?
It's kind of like
corn, right?
Well, it's kind of like when the America came, when the United States bumped into the Indians and talked about territories and land of ownership and paper and so forth like that.
Yeah,
that is contra to. The thing is that you didn't own the land. You lived on it. The land was an entity unto itself.
You had dibs on that land.
Yeah, this is a very this is a very well. There was no ownership, but the thing is that this is a very unnatural way to live. That to say that okay, the seeds that came along with the food that you just ate, you can't have those. You can't use them. It's
That's
like,
why they take the seeds out to begin with. You know what the Monsanto, that evil company, has been doing for many, many years now, for decades? They were selling their GMO corn, okay? And corn has no nutritional value, but corn is consumed regularly by a lot,
yeah,
and
I know.
by a lot of people. And anyway, the wind would blow seeds from the corn over onto other farms. And if the farmers were growing that, Monsanto would send people to inspect the corn. And if it was genetically their corn, the farmers were forced to pay to buy the seeds. So if you didn't want to buy their seeds, you were planting your own. They would purposely go and make sure that any seeds that may have gone onto your land, it might be only 10 plants, but they're going to make you pay for using their patented seeds.
Yeah, the
Okay,
laws,
Monsanto is a monster. Okay,
the law
and they were swallowed up by another monster, Bayer.
yeah, oh yeah.
To
But the law is an
who some people
institution
say
that has
is maybe the most
no
evil
heart but
company
its
in the
own.
world. What?
The law is an institution that has no heart but its own. It is.
All
It
right.
is only. It only is true and just within its own circle. Sometimes it doesn't. It doesn't fulfill its purpose, which is to be an arbiter. The purpose of law is arbitration, is to establish a right and proper solution to a confusing issue. A lot of times for ownership or who's supposed to be king or this, that, or the other thing. Instead, what it's become is a war of words. It's not very good a lot of times. But
Checking my
hopefully,
email to see if AJ sent me anything about Jim Beach, who was supposed to be here.
da da
Okay.
da da
Well,
smart.
there was another study said that chromosomes define what you are, not your psychosis. So your chromosomes determine that you are a male or a female. They do not determine whether you are a male trapped in a female's body or vice versa. Okay, that's bullshit.
Okay,
And
that's
and
not
the other
news to
thing,
me, but
I
okay.
don't care. People can identify as what they want. Let me tell the trans people, you can identify yourself as whatever you want, but don't expect me to go along with your psychosis, with your delusions. Okay,
Listen,
I
if
have the
you
right to look at you and determine whether you are male or female in my head, and if it comes out, too bad. If I
listen,
say ma'am or
if you are a person that chooses to go ahead and be in disagreement with your sexual apparatus and represent yourself in a different way, the opposite gender, let's say, the opposite sex, um, again, nobody's going to stop you. The thing is, if you do a lousy job of it, if you're so poor at doing it, maybe you should find some other hobby. Because if you want to appear like a woman and you're wearing a beard, you're a fucking moron. Nobody thinks women have beards, unless of course they're Italian. So the thing is, I'm Italian, I can get away with
Mike's
that
Italian,
shit.
he can get away with that. Yes.
But the thing is that you know, find a different hobby. Find or at least learn how to dress and to carry yourself in such a way that it's not so fucking obvious. You
And
know,
don't get angry when somebody calls you a dude or sir or whatever, and don't start yelling, "It's ma'am." It's not ma'am. It's, hey, dude, you're a guy. Okay? Now, if people know you personally and you ask them, please call me this, that's one thing. But to try and force the rest of society to call you by what you are obviously not, no, that's wrong.
here's where I draw the line. Regardless of how successful you are at building this illusion that you are some sort of other sex, whether I can see through it or not, that's one thing. You tell me that your name is a traditional name for that particular illusion that you're trying to cast. That's your name. I'll call you by your name, but I won't
Unless
say
you tell me it's they them. They them is a plural.
it's
How
not a
many of
name.
you are
That's
there?
not a name. You're talking
It's
about
not a name.
pronouns. I said name.
Exactly, it's a
Yeah.
pronoun.
So the thing is that if you tell me your name is they, I will call you. Hey, they. How you doing? But I won't use that as a pronoun for you because first of all, that's never made sense to me. They them has never it's like
It
you're
doesn't make
talking about
sense.
somebody that just left. Who are they anyway? That's as close as you're going to get
No,
to that
it's
day.
he, him, or he, she, he. Yeah,
He or
she
or
or well.
it. I'll fall back on the it. Yo,
Okay,
it. How you
look,
doing?
you want to know? You don't want to know what sex you are? Open your pants and look down in there. That'll tell you whether
Or
you
lift up your
are.
dress and look down there.
Yeah, that'll tell you whether you're male or female. Now, in those two categories, you have people who who are sexually attracted to people of the same sex. Those people are called gay.
No,
That's
they're
fine.
not.
That's
No,
fine.
they're not. They're
They're
homosexual.
gay.
They're homosexuals.
Which, oh yeah, they hijacked the term gay, but they're
Yes.
homosexuals,
They took it
which is
away from
not a
Tom
bad
Amici.
term. They try and make it a bad term. It's not a
They
bad
took
term.
they took the term gay away from Tom Amici, was a great actor. He did many movies about the gay 90s. And, it was
Yeah,
just,
the gay '90s was not everybody going around and butt fucking each other.
it was in Fire Island. But anyway,
Very good, very good. Uh,
actually, that reminds me of Cocoon. That was a good movie.
what reminds you of Cocoon?
Uh, we were talking about Tom Amici. He
Oh,
was in
Donamichi was in it. Yeah,
Yeah, he was good.
I saw that pool in person. My son's ex brother-in-law got married at this place that used to be a owned by a mobster, and it's a huge place. And you had if you walk down one of the hallways, you get to that pool that they used in Cocoon. It is much smaller than you think it is in the
To
film,
be honest with you, I
but
never pondered it.
it's because all those actors were very short. Nanamichi was not a tall guy. He was he was probably about up to my shoulder
I was in Miami and I walked down the same street that Al Pacino walked down at some point in his life.
in Scarface.
I don't know. All I
Hey,
know is Al
I
Pacino walked down that street.
I was in New York for 10 years. 10 years more, and
You have tenure?
no, I was in New York for about 14 years, and I walked down streets that a lot of famous people walk down. Okay, big deal.
Okay.
I
It's,
did
it's
see.
not
I did see a
cool.
few people who were. I saw China, the female wrestler. I
Yeah,
did see her. She was about
vaguely,
6'2",
I
six
remember
three.
there was a wrestler that
She
was.
was about 6'2", 6'3". And you know what? In the street, the way she was dressed, she didn't. I mean, she looked big, but she did not look like she does on TV. And I would have banged her. She had a great body.
Uh, your discrimination when it comes to women is almost zero. So
No, she looked good. Oh, I also met Jill Hennessy, who has done a lot of TV series and other movies, and she is a sweetheart. She is a wonderful person, very nice, easy to talk to. I met the guy who, this actor. Oh my God, I can't remember his name. Do you remember that film where Tom Selleck went to prison because of two corrupt cops, and this
now,
guy took him under his wing and taught him how to
an
survive?
innocent man, is that the one you're talking about?
Who?
An innocent man.
That might be it. That might be it.
That's the only one that I know that I haven't seen.
Let me. Yeah, I feel so bad that I can't remember.
I do not like prison movies.
F. Murray Abraham. F. Murray Abraham. I met him several times. He used to come where I work, and he was picking up. He was looking for things for his grandkids. I spoke to him about 3 or 4 times. He was the nicest guy, and in his films, he's always the son of a bitch that you hate. He's the guy who led the raid where Serpico was shot. Remember Serpico? They let his head get caught in the door. And he got shot in the face. Well, F. Murray Abraham was the cop who was leading the that raid.
Okay.
And he did a lot of other things. He played a lot of other bad guys. Oh, he played Salieri in Amadeus.
That's a great movie. That's a great movie.
All his characters are the exact opposite of this man as a person. He's a great guy. I love him. You know who's a bitch? You know who's a real bitch? Susan Sarandon. This girl, Joy, who used to work with me, she said she would come in and she goes, and she's all smiles for the public, this and that. But when she deals with us regular people, she treats us like dirt.
Sinatra was the same way.
Who?
Sinatra.
Sinatra, really?
Yep. As a matter of fact, Johnny Carson couldn't stand him.
I saw that thing too, and I'm writing down show notes so I don't have to listen to the podcast before I post it.
No, I'm not going to listen to it again. That's fucking sure.
What?
Nothing, dear. Don't worry, you're pretty little head.
By the way, this weekend they're going to have all those No Kings rallies, but they got nothing to protest now because Gaza is taken care of. Okay. And Marxists are really. If you look at it,
real. They'll come. Let's put our heads together. And if we were those guys, what would we bitch about?
Anything and everything, because that's what they do.
No, but like you said, you say
the troops and the troops going to the cities and this and that. You know what? Yeah, the army, the federal army is not supposed to go in and operate in the country. That is what the National Guard is for. The National Guard is supposed to keep order in their states, or federalized in other states.
Here's what they're going to say. They're going to say the 2000 Palestinians that were released by Israel were released because Israel and the United States is going to attack again, and they want to make sure they kill everybody at once.
That'd be a good thing, actually.
That's
well. Did you see what Hamas was doing to the Gazans?
Yeah, sure.
The Arabs in Gaza, the Palestinians. I saw one where they had this guy tied up with his hands behind his back on the ground. They took a stone this big and they threw it at his leg. It hit his left leg and it bent it back like this. He's crying, and the guy's slapping him to keep him quiet. So then they turn him over. The guy was going to stick a pole up his rear end, but the other guy said, no. He said, wait. And he turned him over, and he stretched out his arm, and then the other guy took this big stick and broke his arm. I haven't seen the rest of the video yet. I'm going to look at it later. But these people are brutal. These people do not deserve any. They don't deserve to live. Okay, Hamas should be destroyed. They should be eliminated to the last man, woman, or child.
A bear can be a brute, but what these people are devils. They are the opposite of holy and spiritual. They are a cancer on the earth, and they should be treated like the disease they are.
They're torturing and killing Palestinians.
And filming it and enjoying it.
Yeah.
They're doing live streams of it.
Exactly. They're fucking scum. They have no, they're not even, see, that's the difference between the Nazis and the Palestinians. The Nazis tried to hide what they were doing to the Jews and the gypsies and the retarded, and so they tried to hide it. Live streams it and laughs about it. And then the fucking people, when you parade 1,200 hostages or 400 hostages through their streets and beat them and everything, these fucking idiots cheer. I hope those people who are cheering are some of the ones who were being killed by Hamas now. Probably not, though.
No, they're toadies.
Anyway. Oh, by the way, Israel, speaking of Israel, Israel has gay rights and has women rights, respects them. No Muslim nation does. Okay,
Here's the
especially
thing.
in Gaza. But
You,
women and gays are supported in this country and in Europe are supporting Hamas. I wish that they would let Greta get through to Gaza, and then after she gets raped half a dozen times, she can get back on the boat and go home and cry.
no, she won't be back on the boat. They'll just beat her to death. But the thing is that um, we talk about punishment, but the fact of the matter is that the more hellish you are as a person, the more hellish the world looks to you because it starts becoming normal and you start expecting it and you start being aware that it can come to you because you've proven it over and over again. They actually are living in their own hell. Whether they may not know the process, they may not know the mechanism that put them there, but they are there. They're already living in hell.
Oh, you know how the left was complaining about Hexit demanding our troops be physically fit, and they were complaining about that. Well,
Yeah, who wants a military that's capable of, like, I don't know, climbing over a wall?
do you remember a couple of years ago when President Xi declared that he wanted to make the Chinese military more
Yes,
masculine?
yes, he
Okay, where
wanted.
are the feminists complaining about that? There's certainly no feminists in China. Okay, and
Yeah, but
the
that's China.
Chinese.
That has nothing to do with the United
And,
States.
and here's the thing with China. No, I know that in China, yeah, but they have to be more masculine. Nobody complained on the left about that. But because we tell our guys you have to be more physically fit, and then they lied. They said that Exit prohibited women from going into combat duty. No, you can go into combat duty if you're a woman, but you have to pass the same
That's
stringent requirements.
same situation happened with Trump when he was in office previously, where he was accused of being anti-trans, anti-gay, and the thing is that he never made that decision. He left the decision as to what to do with homosexuals and trans people, whatever, to the people in charge of those institutions, because it's like, they're the ones who have to live with it. So the question is, does this work? Now, if you're like that fat pig that was a fireman in Los Angeles,
Oh,
who,
that
if
pig.
you happen to be in the wrong place and there's a fire, she won't go in because it's your own fault. You should have been there anyway.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so she's not capable
She's a
of trying
DEI.
somebody out. So, in a war, okay, during combat, okay, people get shot. Well, the normal thing to do to your comrades is to drag them out of harm's way. The normal thing to do in combat is to run. A normal thing to do in combat is to bully your way through a door or something like that. This is you are you are expected in combat. Actually, I won't not expected. You must in
You
combat
have to.
uh,
You have no
perform
choice. You'll be dead otherwise.
feats that are not everyday shit. Okay, you have to have the physical strength. You have to have the agility. It's not just physical strength. You have to have the agility. You can be strong as hell, but if you've got arthritis, you're not going anywhere. If you're
Yeah,
blind, you're not going anywhere. We can't
yeah.
have blind people on the thing. So to
Oh,
ask,
look out! The left is going to get pissed off at that because you're discriminating against blind people now.
I'm opposed to having
Oh,
women.
sorry, they're not blind; they're
I'm
visually
opposed to
impaired.
having women on the battlefield. I'm opposed to that.
Yeah,
Why?
you know why?
Because I'm a man. I don't like the idea of women dying. And
Also, it's going to distract you because you're going to be concerned with her safety more so than you would with if it was a guy. He can
that's
handle himself
that's true.
while I
It
do this.
distracts you.
Yeah.
And that's also true for friendship to some degree. You're not meant to have certain friendships. But anyway, the thing is that uh, but there is a good argument for having homosexuals on the front line. And the argument is that you have two homosexual lovers then if the one person is in trouble, don't worry, his partner will not leave his friends behind.
Well, you don't have to be gay to do that. I mean,
That was a joke, you dumb fuck. His friends behind? Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Anyway, I don't now if women insist on being on the front line, if they cannot perform effectively, then I would say, you're not going to be in there. Another thing is, if women truly want to participate in combat, I suggest you make female battalions or groups or whatever. So this way, the men don't have to put up with the problems that go along with mixing sexes. You know, and so you don't have to worry about the, I mean,
You know what? Yeah, you should have a rotating battalion that would be very, very effective in combat. I think the that time of the month battalion, and then you can have the menopausal battalion. Two battalions that will. Oh my God, they would destroy anything in their path, including their own people.
See, those bastards shot my lipstick. God damn it! I've had it. I'm climbing the wall. Maybe women as a support group. Um, having them in medical and so forth like that. Some other thing. I don't see any reason why you can't have female fighter pilots, unless there's a physical limitation to that.
Well, not if they're pregnant. And Biden had suits, flight suits made for pregnant women. You can't subject a baby in the womb to that kind of G-force. How stupid are you?
Well,
what did his mother take a ride in a jet when he was little? Is that why he's like he is?
12,000 years ago, in a cave in southern Africa, Grok first realized that women who are pregnant need to be taken care of a little bit better than anybody else. That's what he was the first. Grok was the first person to notice that pregnant women need a little extra care. So doing 3 Gs and in a fight, and being pregnant may not be the best thing in the world.
Yeah, but the Biden administration should go down in history as the stupidest administration.
It could go down right now.
Oh God, it's true.
But I understand Biden has got prostate cancer, which means that he is not the perfect asshole I thought he was. Man,
well, I don't wish that on him, but you know what? I'm sorry to say, I don't care. I don't care. Scott Adams has prostate cancer, and he's dealing with it. He was going to kill himself at the end of June or July, but he got onto estrogen therapy, and his testosterone levels are really low, but it is keeping his prostate cancer very, very low in remission. So he's living longer. He doesn't know how long it's going to last. He's hoping it'll last at least till they find something better or something that can take the place of that kind of therapy.
If you're a man,
him I care about, because he's a rational and very funny, very intelligent guy. The opposite of Biden.
If you're a man, you should take saw palmetto every day.
Saw palmetto, yeah.
Saw palmetto. It is. It keeps your prostate happy.
Helps. Pumpkin seeds too.
What?
Pumpkin seeds.
I eat that as well. Yes.
Yeah, pumpkin seeds help keep your prostate healthy.
Yeah. So the thing is that I've been taking saw palmetto for about 20 years, and I had my physical about 3 months ago, and zero problems there. So plus I have a black man come in once a month.
He likes his prostate exams like he likes his coffee. Blackened.
That's an old Jewish joke. Like this old Jewish lady goes to the gynecologist, and the gynecologist goes, "Lady, what? That's your vagina is so clean. I'm amazed. Why? What do you do?"
What
She
do you
goes,
do?
"Well, once a month I have a black man come in." And if people don't know anything about at least 1960 Jews, because I grew up in a Jewish neighborhood in the 1960s, most every single one of the houses that I knew, and they weren't rich people, would have a black woman come in, and they would do the heavy lifting, and once or twice a week. That was just normal.
Oh, by the way, interesting statistic I came upon the other day. We have sent more money to the Ukraine in 4 years than we sent to Israel in 70 years.
Is that 7-0?
7-0, yes. Okay. But now we are still helping Ukraine, but we're also selling our weapons to be used by Ukraine against the Russians, and Europe is paying for it, not us. Okay. So what is it? Why is it that the left despises Trump? What's he doing wrong?
He's Trump. He's not dead. That's the biggest
Yeah,
problem.
they're fucking scumbags.
That's all they want is him to be dead.
Oh, another thing that came out about Scott Adams was talking about this too. He said, and somebody else was talking about where in Ukraine, if you're a drone operator and you do something against the Russians, and you get rewarded. You get a bigger drone, you get a better drone, and so next time you can do something else and get rewarded again. Russia, no, you're doing your job, and it's just like the Soviet Union. You do your job, you're going to get paid no matter what, whether you hit your target or not. You're getting paid the same shit.
It's equity.
Ukraine, they're getting rewarded. It's capitalism, and you're holding out a carrot for them to get.
Well, the Russians.
At the same time, Ukraine is fighting for the existence of their country. The Russians, they no, they don't feel it's a threat to Russia fighting Ukraine. Okay.
Well, in the process, they ended up stealing most of the Catholic property in the Ukraine. So I really have no love for the Ukrainian people for doing that.
Not the Ukrainian people so much as it is.
Well, the government. But the thing is that people could stand up and do something about that. I mean, they took away the church property and stuff. They just took it.
Yeah.
And they also persecuted the priests and so forth like that because the priests were speaking out against them. So no free speech there. And of course, they didn't have any elections because you can't have elections during the war. That's not good. So
they had it during World War II in England and in the United States and probably other countries.
Yeah, the thing is that Ukraine is far from clean. You can have pity on its population, but the government and what they've been doing.
It's one of the most corrupt in the world. Yeah, it's one of the most corrupt in the world.
So I have mixed feelings. If it was up to me, the war would stop in an instant. I have no loyalty for either side. I just know that the ones that are paying the price there are not the ones causing it. And the thing is, if you talk about the Russians, they have no motivation, no motivation to be a better drone pilot. That is the reason why communism is so weak. Is that unless they decide that your particular craft, like they were into athletes and stuff, unless you're into something that the government really wants to sponsor, you don't get anything special. But
right.
It's not what is that success based. Anyway,
going back a moment to where we were talking about the people being poisoned and all. Mark Young, the host of Blunt Force Truth. He pointed out that this nation was built on by people who were non-compliant. Okay, and we never in our history have been as compliant as we are today. And this is he says it's probably thanks to the poisons we're being fed, leading to so many overweight and lethargic people. And plus, with our comfortable lives, I mean, we're living like nobody else in history has ever lived. All right, and we become soft. The Roman Empire fell after its citizens stopped serving in the military. Okay, and they just hired mercenaries. Okay, or the poor people went and the wealthy people did not anymore.
Well, another
And
thing that damaged the Roman Empire was the fact that the independent farmer was wiped out. These conglomerates took over farming, and
like
at
today,
the beginning, there were so many citizens that had a piece of the country and actually felt when things didn't work versus you're working for the man all the time.
yeah, your work and well, it's comparable to what happened in the Soviet Union in the 50s. They did an experiment and they gave 5% of the farmlands that the state owned everything, to the farmers. They said, whatever you produce on this land is yours.
Hmm.
Okay. They were shocked and amazed that the 5% of land that these people could profit from was far more productive than the 95% of the land that was state owned and he's oh, you jackass. That's Mike calling me. Anyway,
I got tired. But
tired of what?
yeah, so
You want to finish this or what? We're at 53
yeah,
minutes.
I think we've rambled enough.
All right. Obviously, Jim Beach is not going to meet us because it's 2:41.
And if
He's
he does show up,
he's in Atlanta, by the way, not in Chicago. So he's on our time too. I don't know what's going. Let me just check to see if uh, his publicist emailed me or not. Nope, still hasn't told me anything.
okay, so there you go. So I guess that's it for today.
I got my Amazon delivery is downstairs.
Jim will be here some other time.
Yes, and he's going to be talking about nuclear as the alternative to solar and wind and even so-called fossil fuels. Oh, speaking of fossil fuels, real quick, there's more and more evidence pointing to the fact that oil did not come from the dinosaurs.
Yes,
Okay, it comes from decomposition throughout the earth. So everything that decomposes eventually turns into the sludge that we call oil. This is why,
which means the
when
dinosaur.
Rockefeller way back, he wanted to raise the prices when he had the monopoly on oil, and he said, "Oh, it's only a limited amount that we have, so we have to ration it, sort of." Okay, and we've been rationing it for over 100 years.
But who's foot? The thing is that if Rockefeller makes a statement like that, and nobody refutes him, then
Anybody who did refute him would probably be killed.
come on,
Oh yeah, Rockefeller never killed anyone.
that's correct.
Remember the strikes? Remember the strikes? He sent in who was it? What's that detective agency?
The Pinkertons.
The Pinkertons to bust heads. Okay.
Yeah, but that's just a head or two. It's not the same thing.
All right. Anyway, well, I hope you enjoyed this episode of The View from Here, Behind Enemy Lines, and we will see you again in a couple of days. 2 days, we have another guest who is going to be here,
Mm-hmm.
and
Sure,
we'll have Jim Beach back on.
we're going to be here. That's for
He's been here before, so maybe that's why he didn't want to come back. Maybe that's why he didn't want to come back.
Yeah, the same. It's kind of asking. I'm just going to use the same sheet over and over again. That's all.
No. Jim had last time Jim was here. He talked about being an entrepreneur.
I know.
Okay,
I know. I was making a joke.
you are a joke.
Yeah. Well,
I'm
you know
sorry.
what? One of these days you ought to catch him.
Okay, folks. We'll see you next time. Have a good day or good evening, whatever. We'll see you. Bye.
Make it happen.
Oh, wait. No, we want to stay here. We want to stop the recording.